Welcome to the University of Pittsburgh's Health and Explainable AI podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Gass-Poore, a health and science reporter. Join me as we cover advancements being made in health informatics and explainable AI for students, researchers, and healthcare practitioners interested in applications of artificial intelligence and machine learning. This podcast is produced by the University of Pittsburgh's Health and Explainable AI Research Laboratory at the University of Pittsburgh School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences Department of Health Information Management. Headed by Ahmad Tafti, Pitt's HexAI Lab cultivates extramural collaborations with academic institutions both nationally and internationally through its research, educational contributions, and this podcast series. Hello and welcome back to Pitt HexAI, a podcast series produced by the University of Pittsburgh's Health and Explainable AI Research Laboratory. I'm Jordan Gass-Poore, your host, and today we have a couple of folks with us that we're going to be speaking with, and I thought that it would be better if each of our guests introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about maybe where they are in the world and the work that they're doing. And so we have a round table here, and I will let whoever wants to go first, go first.
So I can start, So I'm Vladyslav Protsenko. I'm currently in London, so I'm basically computer science alumnus at Ukrainian Catholic University, which is located in Lviv in Ukraine. So I defended my bachelor thesis last year successfully. And right now I'm involved in data science processes in my company, international company, which is called Alex. And also I'm research fellow at Center for Responsible AI at NYU.
So hi. I am Yaroslav Klym, and I am final year computer science student in Ukrainian Catholic University in Ukraine. And right now I'm in Lviv finishing my studies and working on my bachelor thesis. And I'm also a research fellow in Center of Responsible AI NYU.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Danylo Reznyk. I'm also a final year applied math student at Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. And also I'm involved as a machine learning engineer in my company in Ukraine. And I'm also a researcher in responsible AI for Ukraine.
I'm just curious, so have the three of y'all met in person before? Like, do y'all know each other in real life?
Not all of us, actually. Because we were selected, I would say randomly, but not totally randomly, but there was some sort of rule because, our interest for research should intersect somehow with our mentors. So that's why we ended up in the same team. And our path crossed with Yaroslav because, we studied at the same program at Ukrainian Catholic University. I am a bit older than him, but we still saw each other at campus pretty often, so.
And funny story because Vlad assisted one course that I took, and we became a research fellow and were in the same team. And 1 month after we started working together, I realized that I will have very big chat with Vlad when I was asking him questions, but when we first met on the project, I just couldn't realize that he was my assistant.
Nice. Yeah, so we're going to learn a little bit today about RAI for Ukraine, the program at NYU, and get to know the students there who just introduced themselves to us. We're going to hear a little bit about their interests and their journey into this initiative, their experiences working with the AMIIE Lab at Pace University and the HexAI Lab at Pitt. And then we're going to go back and ask you to share some insights into your research and your forthcoming papers. So welcome, everyone. So when you started your academic studies in Ukraine, what was it like before the war and what has it been like now? What sort of hardships, difficulties, experiences, if you could describe, that you've been facing as students?
You're completely right that it's completely different story, but actually I like to say that we actually did not have this complete 4 years of studies like normal students, not just because of war, obviously, but also because of COVID-19. Actually, it also was a huge factor because we had a lot of limitations. We could not have full classes of people because of this situation, this pandemic. And we spent time in different places, and someone was at home, maybe not even in Lviv. so we had a lot of online classes, and it had some effect because we didn't know each other so well as some guys who are like older than us. But eventually, pandemic ended, and we had a chance to gather together, and spend time and all such things. And when war started, actually, it just became completely new chapter for every one of us, every Ukrainian, I would say, because so we just have so like vibrant mix of feelings right now, because we cannot focus on studies. I'm just talking about my experience personal. So I believe we just started second term. It was second term of my second year studies, and we just started, and we already had some assignments, and we just could not like make it, nor not us nor like teachers, because we all we did not know what to expect next, and that's why we just lived in uncertainty constantly. And it was a huge factor for our studies, but eventually we had adapted in a way we could, of course, and it went like it went. Of course, it could be better, but it always could be worse, can be worse. So I'm grateful that everything is not worse, I would say. It was like for me, but maybe for guys it was a bit different because they're a bit younger. But they will share their stories.
So the war started when I just started my studies, and I was on the first year. And as Vlad said, that right before start of war, there was pandemic, and so I had like first half on my first year online because of it, but right after pandemic ended and we like started going to classes, and we had like only 1 week offline, the war started, and for like I'd say 2 months or 3 months there was like no time for study, because we joined volunteering. My programming teacher went on the war to defend us, and it was like a chaos, but we started adapting, and by the second year we had like more organized studies. Still, there is a huge problem with air alarms. Yes. Still, there is a huge problem with air alarms, because we can't control when we will be attacked. So we have to move to shelters, we have to stop our classes, we have to work around them. Then another big challenge is blackouts, because there is like huge times when there is no electricity, and you also have to manage your schedule according to this. And actually it also took part when we worked on this project, because during our active experiment phase there was days when we had no electricity for 8 hours, for 12 hours, and as training model is a time-consuming process, we had to also like I had to wake up in 4 a.m. because I had to start our training one more time because there was no electricity earlier. And it's really challenging, but we adapted, and thankfully, as Lviv is like more safe place, I think that we are not as affected as some closer to the borderline regions.
Thank you for sharing that. And if did anybody else have anything to add to that question?
Yes. And about my story, I was in first term in my university, and at the beginning of war, I was in South Ukraine, in my homeland city, and because of this, I had to live for 2 months under Russian occupation, and in the city full of soldiers. But after that, I live my city, and arrived to Kiev. So and I can say that the main the issue that was in the studying that because of war we have online studying, and this affect to the program.
I'd love to find out a little bit more about the RAI for Ukraine program and, an overview of what it is and how y'all each came to the program, how you found out about it, what interested you about the program.
So basically, this program runs for a couple of years already. I believe that it started a couple of years ago when I was on the second or third year of my studies. So basically, a lot of my classmates participated in this program and they gave a lot of positive feedback about it. At that time, I was a bit more involved in my work, so in my company, and I did not feel that I have enough time to like extracurricular things. But after my bachelor thesis defense, I have a lot more time, and that's why I just thought that I should try and to see how it will go for me. And I'm happy that I chose it because this program is really nice for Ukrainians from like different cities, different universities, and it gives a unique opportunity for us to research with people around the world, especially like from people from US and some countries in Europe, I believe. So that's how I went to this program.
And also too with that, I would love to know like what y'all each, did in the program as well.
Okay, so I'll start with overview. So the program started a few years ago, and it's like partnership of Ukrainian Catholic University and New York University in Tandon, if I remember correctly. So as a student of Ukrainian Catholic University, I was well heard about this program, and there was like opportunity to participate when I was at my third year studies. But at that time, I didn't believe that my competence in AI is enough. And also scientific research seemed for me like something impossible and something really big and scary. So I didn't even thought that I will ever participate in this program. But on the other hand, my close friend and roommate decided to take part in it. And so I had the second-hand experience of this program, and it seemed really nice. So during my third year studies, I took more AI courses in my university, started to practice, learned computer vision, and decided that now I'm ready. So this year, as you can see, a part of the research fellows.
Thank you.
Yeah, I may add if it's possible. Yeah. So basically, when I was doing my bachelor thesis in the last year of studies, I actually was really fascinating about this thing of research, and because it really does not correlate well with things you might do at work. Of course, if you are not working as a researcher, because I am not in my company, and that's why I had different experience, and I actually like it, and that's why after defense, I thought that I really want to continue doing such things because it is really interesting, especially if the topic and domain is interesting, and it is. Like in this case, and it was another factor why I chose to participate in this program.
Thank you. Anything else that y'all would like to add?
Yeah, I can. So I can add that in the end of third year of my undergraduate study, I realized that I want to take part in some research program because so I have already worked in industry, and and I feel that I want to more to use my knowledges and creativity for something more impactful. Yeah, and this was especially and in my case, this was AI program. Because it gives many opportunities to enter in the research industry, in the science, and in school.
Awesome. Well, thanks y'all for that. And I mean, it seems like y'all have been very busy because, like we said in the introduction, that the program is not the only thing that y'all have been doing outside of school, if you will. I'd love to hear more about what each of you are working on and what interests you have within AI.
Unlock the future of AI at Pitt HexAI. Pitt HexAI is where the brightest minds at the University of Pittsburgh come together to push the boundaries of artificial intelligence. Tune into the Pitt HexAI podcast to hear experts discuss cutting-edge AI research and its real-world impact. Join us at Pitt HexAI and listen to the podcast today.
So, okay, may start again? So, okay, so I like machine learning and data science as whole thing because, I like different aspects of it. For example, like starting from like computer vision and natural language processing and then with time series prediction. I like all of that. But of course, especially I think which fascinates me the most, I believe, is computer vision. Also my bachelor thesis is connected with that heavily because, what I made is a navigation system for unmanned aerial vehicle. So basically, I solved visual odometry task, I believe, So I got experience with computer vision. Apart from that, I worked with some various tasks from computer vision domain at work, and that's why this particular part of AI is my favorite, I would say. And I'm really lucky that I got into this project because it also includes like vision part. Because what we did is we created the system which worked with three-dimensional data in form of MRI imagery in order to detect and classify the osteoarthritis of a knee. So basically, we work here with also visual models, and I was pretty happy about it.
Okay, so I also love ML and DL in general, but computer vision, my favorite part of it, I'd say. My thesis on which I work currently is also computer vision related, as I'm working on damage evaluation of damaged and destroyed infrastructure of Ukraine after war based on satellite imagery. And as maybe 1 year earlier, I wouldn't say that computer vision is the thing I want to work in the future, but right now I have this point where I'm not as interested in NLP. I don't have so much experience in NLP, but I have this experience in computer vision. I like computer vision. It seems fun, and that's my interest. And so when choosing topic of the project, there was a lot of interesting projects, but this one was when we went to the interviews which evaluated our skills, I was like, I have to show the best of myself. I have to be a part of this project, and I successfully did it. And working on medical imagery was a great experience.
and want to continue. So I agree with Yaroslav. I kind of same base of this. So I also like and am passionate of computer visions, and but in my university I didn't have many courses on computer vision, so I self-studied in the beginning of this. And I participated in different hackathons, and took courses, and done a project myself. And I realized that computer vision is is a field that contains really interesting tasks, valuable tasks. And I can use my skills to something real life tasks. And at interview stage, I decided to apply this program because I like the topic about application computer vision in medical field. So it's the main.
Thanks y'all for that. I'm curious because we normally, when we close each of these episodes, we ask our guests to offer students a research project idea. But because y'all being students yourselves, I'd love to know if y'all had any advice for students who are interested in AI and wanting to get into academic work around AI. If there are things that you wish you would have known when y'all were entering university, any advice you might have for students around that?
Actually, I would say that one good thing to do when you're interested in research, especially, is to read as much papers as you can physically. For example, if you're interested in some concept or in some architecture of the model, you can Google it, you can find some articles about it, but the best thing you can do for yourself and for your development as a specialist is to read an original paper from these authors, and you'll be able to understand far more than someone explains to you in different way. And also you have an example of how to write, how to structure your point of view, and how to describe certain things in academic manner. So I would say that this experience will definitely help not only to conduct researches, but also for some students to write dissertations or so, and it will just make their life easier, more understandable, and more enjoyable.
So my first advice would be, don't be afraid, and always try something new. Don't stuck on the same approach. And if the worst thing you can do is not to apply to something because you're afraid that you are not enough to be part of something. And secondly, try to develop some kind of project management skills, because it's very important. And during this project, I found the great power of presentations and how they can help you to better organize your meetings, don't forget all points that you wanted to discuss, and more effectively come to your goal.
Yeah, and the main thing is don't worry about lack of experience and knowledge, because the most important about research is to enter into this field and start to develop yourself the things, read the paper, and all other things is come with this.
I am curious to know too what y'all thinking in the future and in the world of AI. Any projects or particular topics of interest, things you want to get into that you're not currently into, or companies that y'all might want to work with, or thinking 5 years down the line about what you would like to do in AI, which I'm sure whatever is interesting now in AI 5 years down the line is going to be completely different. We probably don't even know what that's going to be really, but the future.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, because we just cannot foresee all the things which may happen or not in this AI world. But personally, I would say that thing which fascinated me not so a long time ago was a paper about Kolmogorov-Arnold networks. If you're familiar with them, I just wanted to have some experience with them, because currently I have none of them. But yeah, some projects including such things, and maybe just looking at what they can do and cannot, what their limitations, and how can they be compared with other traditional approaches based on traditional setups. I think this is thing I wanted to be involved with. And regarding part of question about like where to work on or to stay in academia, I think that I'm not. I want to say that I'm not mature enough to be able to answer this question correctly. But I think that I'll continue working in both directions and see where it will lead me to.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, and like I thought, so I want to grow as a researcher in academia, I think, yeah. And I don't sure about the one, about a single area or field that I want to work, but so at the beginning, I want to try to explore different fields, to work with them. Yeah, but I guess that I want to apply my knowledge in AI and machine learning and other things in science related topics. So I think that the most valuable things, in practical things, is on that is in intersection of two sciences or more, like physics, machine learning, biology, machine learning, and school. And I want to grow in this.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. It's pretty hard question. But, firstly, I'm like the only member of team who doesn't have any working experience right now. And I started to getting familiar with how research works, but also I'm really interested in how working on the commercial project as part of team works. And also in future, I want to continue research and creating AI tools which have particular practical usage, as for example, kind of my current thesis working. It's on the one hand is AI, but on the other hand, it's quite important humanitarian project, as damage evaluation right now is a very important topic for Ukraine.
I'd love to hear more about what other projects and other papers that y'all have worked on. So please feel free to talk through whatever is relevant to y'all that you think that folks should know about.
So I maybe will start conversation about our paper, potential paper. Yeah, so we were working on a like automatic system, fair and explainable system, which will classify MRI imagery of knee, and it will say whether a particular person or patient has osteoarthritis or not. Actually, we used Kelvin-Lorentz scale for it, and although it has like 4 possible values, we work only with 2 for the sake of simplicity. And yeah, I can say just about architecture we used, because yeah, it was mainly my part of work. So we talked with our mentors about different possible architectures for this paper, and we ended up with ResNets. So we used 3 different variations of them. And to make our model multimodal, we had to use tabular data, which included some clinical data about some patients. And for that, we created simple MLP, which had one single hidden layer. And yeah, that's how we incorporated this tabular data into our multimodal model. We had in total 6 setups, and we trained each of them, evaluated with respect to accuracy, general accuracy of our task, and in respect to the fairness and explainability. For explainability, we used a model called GradCam++, which enables viewers and doctors with some sort of attention map, which can show which part of imagery is affecting the most, like this output of a model. And yeah, we got pretty decent results with it, and we included it in our paper. So yeah, this was a part which had deep learning in it and some sort of explainability, and guys will tell you about other parts.
Yes, so our project is called AMIIE, where F is for fairness, E is for explainability, M is for multimodality, and AI. So what our model do is predict whether patient have osteoarthritis or not, and trying incorporating all these factors, which are very important. Firstly, about multimodality, we explored how our model, how we can improve results, especially in fairness, incorporating more factors than just MRI images. And in this work, we also used tabular data, which showed us information about patient sex and race. For explainability, as Vlad already explained, we used breadcrumbs. So each output of our model we can see why a result is so, and on which area our model was focused and why it gives this output. And about fairness, that's one of the main topic in our evaluation, because we compared how incorporating multimodality improves or not fairness results. And actually, we got pretty good fairness scores for multimodal models, which showed that incorporating more data can be really useful for reducing a gap between group predictions. But that's like what we worked during this semester, but we will not stop on this. And we are planning to firstly incorporate more demographical factors, for example, age, which is also very important in OA diagnosis. Another thing we will work in the future is trying more architectures, because currently, while other models show better fairness results with incorporation of multimodality, there is still problem in total accuracy, and this solution can be incorporated in the clinical scenario because accuracy is not good enough. And also about multimodality, we can try other fusion techniques. A fusion technique is the way how you mesh together different modalities. So currently we are, if I remember correctly, fuse data about imaging in the classification. So we have output from our MLP, we have output from our ResNet, and we merge them together on the classification step, but we can try to incorporate this data on earlier steps.
So I want to emphasize that incorporating enduring fairness and explainability is not just a letter in the name of project, because it's important in the cause that the AI models and that doesn't take into account fairness. It can affect minority groups like to minority race and sex, and this is not and this is important. So, and the main achievement is of course achieving the good result in terms of fairness, and results obtained show that multimodality does not always lead to increase in classification accuracy. However, increasing fairness can be achieved at the cost of slightly worse accuracy. And so our model is not biased in classifying knee osteoarthritis and comparing and the opposite sex, but also and we have a lot of room for improvement regarding race. Yeah.
And the paper will come out sometime this year, right? In 2025?
So actually, we are not sure about publishing because we submitted it to the conference, IEEE ICHI 2025, which will take place in June, I believe, this year. So I'm not confident when we'll hear about results, but I think it will be in not April, but a month earlier, I believe, or in April even. So it won't be anytime soon, sadly.
Where is it going to be published?
we hope that it will come out because during it under review. But even if it will not come out, then we will work harder and make more experiments, and we are not stopping working on this project.
I think we will continue working regardless of the result, because we can, and we will. Yeah, because we see the potential where we can improve things, and yeah, that is something we will work on. So just hopefully we will have something like publishing and conferences along the way.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, I really do appreciate y'all taking the time, because I bet that it's pretty late where y'all are. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really enjoy talking with y'all.
Thanks everyone for tuning in and for following the show. The Health and Explainable AI podcast is produced by the University of Pittsburgh's Health and Explainable AI Research Laboratory at University of Pittsburgh School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences Department of Health Information Management. I'm Jordan Gass-Poore. Thanks for listening.